Hello again and welcome to Letter from England, broadcasting for AC Press and the Spanish Evangelical Alliance. In the last couple of months there have been some interesting developments as the Spanish government has condemned the lack of religious freedom in Morocco and has entered the debate about the need to protect Christian minorities in countries where they're persecuted or discriminated against. The Foreign Secretary, Miguel Ángel Moratinos, has said that the Spanish government, in its own name and on behalf of the European Union, has expressed its concern to the Moroccan authorities about the expulsion of European citizens accused of proselytism. After being asked at a meeting organised by the ABC Forum about the Moroccan situation, where around 100 Christian foreigners have been expelled since March, or at least have been given the order to leave the country, many of them aid workers, Moratinos said, naturally we've expressed our concern at the expulsion of what he called a number of European citizens of Christian belief to the Moroccan authorities. The Moroccan government explained that the reason behind these decisions corresponds to an excess of proselytism, quote unquote, carried out by these citizens, explanations that neither Spain nor the European Union, in the words of the Foreign Secretary, agree with. Rather, according to Moratinos, the Spanish government will continue to discuss this matter and demand respect for religious freedom and for activities carried out by any religious group, particularly Christian and Catholic, as he put it. The minister added that their concern has been passed on in the most direct way possible in order to prevent such situations from happening again. Well, the day after his statements, 3 members of the European Parliament, Ramon Tremosa from the Convergencia party here in Spain, one of them, dispatched a letter to the Spanish Prime Minister, José Luis Rodríguez Zapatero, in which they urged him to take the necessary measures to stop the expulsion of Christians from Morocco. They say that since March, expulsions of Christian believers by the authorities in Rabat have increased, and they demand that Spain, as the current holder of the EU presidency, take a more determined position on the issue. In their letter, they say that Spain, on behalf of the 27, must ask the Moroccan government to respect both democratic principles and human rights. And the Euro MPs claim that the application of international rights must prevail over any other diplomatic problem. Not since 1956, when Morocco obtained its independence, have there been so many expulsions. Well, the letter claims that in recent months up to 100 people, mainly evangelicals, have been ordered to leave the country, but that the harassment to Christians in Morocco includes the entry of the security forces into church buildings during services, and local Christians are living in fear as well, particularly because of inspections, arrests and other threats. Together with Tremosa, the letter signed by the Dutch Euro MP Sophie in 't Veld from the Liberal group, the Italian Fiorello Provera from the Eurosceptics, and one of the Vice Chairmen of the Foreign Affairs Commission. Meanwhile, Rafael Rodríguez Ponga, Secretary of Social Policy for the opposition Popular Party, said in a recent article that today many seem to shrug their shoulders as if the threat, internal and external, was meant for others, but the danger for those professing a specific belief is real. While stating that as Christians, he says, we must turn the other cheek, we must also proclaim the good news and unmask what he called Pharisees and Sadducees. He emphasizes that as Democrats, we're called to give clear and constant signs in defense of our model of coexistence in peace, harmony and freedom. He considers that the answer to the problems coming from religious diversity will not be found either in socialist secularism or in the proclamation of a sole national religion, because both situations lead to prosecution and suffering. I think persecution and suffering, sorry. The way ahead, in his opinion, is the recognition in Spain, in Morocco, and indeed all over the world of individual freedom and the free public and private practice of religious faith, either at home, school or church. That is why, in his opinion, a firm attitude is needed by the Spanish government in defense of religious freedom, of the religious freedom of persecuted Christians. And he concludes by saying that defending the freedom of others is in fact defending our own freedom. Well, it's interesting in the light of all these developments that Moratinos has proposed a seminar on religious freedom for Christian minorities specifically. He's proposing that the seminar be held within the framework of the Alliance of Civilizations, a group for dialogue between those of different faiths and of none, promoted principally by Spain and Turkey. And at the inauguration of the third forum of the Alliance in Rio de Janeiro earlier this year, he called for a seminar on religious freedom specifically for Christians where they are in the minority. The Alliance, he said, is not just trying to manage cultural diversity and contribute to interreligious dialogue, but wants to be above all an innovative and useful instrument as regards preventative diplomacy. He urged all the countries represented at the conference to keep drawing up national plans to apply the principles of the Alliance in each state, rather like the one that Spain approved recently. And he concludes by saying the Alliance is much more than a proposal for dialogue. It is action against intolerance, racism, xenophobia and all types of fundamentalism. It is an exemplary measure to show the whole world that dialogue among cultures and religions can be a source of diversity and of richness, and not a source of confrontation. Well, fine words. We'll see if actions follow in due course. Thank you for listening to Letters from England, broadcasting each week at AC Press and emission.net. Goodbye for now.